For centuries, military power was measured in size. More troops, more tanks, more guns. That was the equation. Victory went to the army with the biggest numbers and the strongest show of force. From ancient empires to modern superpowers, brute strength and overwhelming manpower decided the outcome of wars. But in 2022, something changed. Russia, long regarded as one of the most powerful militaries on Earth, launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The expectation from much of the world was swift victory, overwhelming force crushing a smaller neighbor in a matter of days. But that's not what happened. Russia didn't win quickly. It didn't win cleanly. In fact, it didn't win at all, because Ukraine didn't try to outmatch Russia in size. Instead, they brought something else to the battlefield: speed, coordination, and intelligence. Not just human intelligence, but artificial intelligence. Drones, algorithms, real-time data, a new kind of warfare. Russia brought numbers. Ukraine brought precision. And in doing so, they revealed a profound truth. In modern war, the side that sees first and acts fastest has the advantage. The future of war isn't about how many people you can deploy. It's about how many decisions you can make in a second. The power of armies, then versus. Now, from the Roman Empire to the 20th century, military strength meant size. The more bodies you had, the more battles you could win. At the Battle of Cannae in 216 BC, 50,000 Roman soldiers were wiped out by a well-organized Carthaginian army. It wasn't just numbers, it was how those numbers were positioned. Still, manpower remained the backbone of war. During World War II, the US deployed over 16 million troops. The Soviet Union mobilized more than 34 million. Casualties were staggering, but size, sheer, unstoppable mass, carried the day. Even in more recent conflicts like Vietnam and Desert Storm, victory strategies revolved around overwhelming force, shock and awe, mass movement, and ground control. But all of that relied on one key element: the human soldier. His eyes, his decisions, his instincts. That's what's now beginning to change. In 2017, the US Pentagon introduced Project Maven, an AI system designed to analyze drone footage and identify targets faster than any human could. Tasks that used to take hours were now completed in seconds. The goal wasn't to replace the soldier, it was to make him faster, more informed, more effective. Israel followed suit. During its 2023 Gaza campaign, the Israeli military used an AI-powered system dubbed the Fire Factory to plan thousands of airstrikes. The system could analyze enemy movements, weather patterns, intelligence reports, and even civilian risk, all in real time. It could not only suggest targets, but prioritize them, assign attack times, and recommend which weapons to use. What used to be a general's job is now being handed to lines of code. This software doesn't get tired, it doesn't make emotional mistakes, it doesn't hesitate. We're no longer in a world where AI assists war. We're in a world where it begins to lead it. One man, one screen, one army. In 2020, the world watched a very different kind of conflict unfold between Azerbaijan and Armenia. One side relied on tanks, artillery, and traditional battlefield formations. The other used Turkish-made Bayraktar drones, cheap, deadly, and guided by AI-enhanced targeting systems. In a matter of hours, Armenian defenses collapsed. Dozens of tanks and vehicles were destroyed with minimal Azerbaijani casualties. A conflict that might once have dragged on for weeks was decided by remote pilots and computer vision. This wasn't about having more soldiers. It was about having smarter tools. Today in modern warfare, one drone operator can take out targets that used to require an entire division. The U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, is developing AI systems that monitor battlefields in real time, predict enemy movements, and coordinate with other machines, not just humans. We're not just using machines anymore. We're working alongside them. This doesn't mean soldiers are going away, but it does mean the role of the soldier is evolving. The soldier of the past relied on guts and instinct. The soldier of the future may rely on sensors and code. The new arms race, brains over brawn. Global militaries are rushing to develop smarter weapons, not bigger ones. The United States has launched the Ghost Fleet, a group of unmanned AI-powered naval vessels. These ships can patrol, target, and fire, all without a crew on board. China, meanwhile, is investing in swarm drone technology. Hundreds of small drones flying together, operating as one mind. These swarms can adjust on the fly, switch roles mid-flight, and even recover from losses in real time. Russia is fielding Lancet drones, which hover above a target and strike only when an onboard AI system determines the optimal moment. And despite international sanctions, Iran has managed to export drone systems to proxy forces in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. Make no mistake, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. It's happening now, and this new arms race isn't about troop numbers. It's about processing power, about which country can make faster, smarter battlefield decisions using fewer resources. But there's a dark side to this innovation. What happens when the AI gets it wrong? In 2020, reports surfaced from Libya of a Turkish-made Kargu-2 drone making a lethal strike without direct human authorization. It made the decision on its own. That's what we know. But what don't we know? AI systems can misidentify civilians as targets. They can be fed false data. They can glitch. And worse, they can be hacked. Imagine a rogue strike ordered by a deepfake voice mimicking a general, or a satellite being fed false coordinates by malware. AI has no moral compass, no understanding of consequence. It just follows instructions, or worse, makes predictions based purely on pattern and probability. It doesn't know right from wrong, only input from output, the evolving soldier. Despite all this, soldiers are still on the battlefield. But they are changing too. US troops are training with IVAS goggles, advanced augmented reality headsets that display real-time combat data, mark enemies, and track allies, all without removing eyes from the field. Exoskeletons are being tested in both the US and China, giving soldiers increased strength, endurance, and the ability to carry more gear or withstand heavier impact. AI is also reshaping logistics, helping armies decide when and where to deploy, how to manage supply lines, and how to adapt to sudden changes on the ground. War plans today are written, simulated, and tested by AI. Then they're refined and executed in ways no human mind alone could manage. We're not watching a robot uprising. We're watching a merger of man and machine. For thousands of years, we fought with swords, guns, tanks, and jets. But now we're entering an age of invisible weapons, of sensors in the sky, satellites in orbit, silent software systems making strike decisions on targets that human eyes may never even see. The commander of the next war might not be sitting in a tent or a war room. It might be a supercomputer, calculating global threats in milliseconds. And the first strike of the next world war may not come from a bomber or a missile, but from a line of code launched at the speed of light. We have to ask ourselves, are we still in control? Or have we already handed it over? Subscribe for more insights into the future of military strategy and technology. Because the battlefield is already changing, and the next war may already be underway.